Are you sick of taking advice from the crypto experts? Are you sick and tired of being manipulated by Wall Street investors? Are you sick and tired of watching your crypto portfolio depreciate by 95% as we go into a bear market? Then smash that like button, Will Smith that subscribe button.
Just before the long weekend, CoinDesk broke the story that U.S. officials pinning down North Korea as being behind the biggest hack in DeFi history. So this elite North Korean hacking group, Lazarus, is tied to the more than $600 million theft of cryptocurrency from the Axie Infinity-linked Ronin Bridge.
The latest trend in financial investment is cryptocurrency, but scam artists are also urging it to steal your money.
Yeah, they're using social media to make this happen. We spoke to two people who got conned out of more than $20,000. They're sharing their story as a warning to everyone else.
94,000 Bitcoin, that is $3.6 billion, a record seizure by the U.S. Justice Department. On Tuesday, police in New York arrested a husband and wife couple that allegedly tried to launder just that amount, which seems to be connected to a 2016 hack of the virtual currency exchange Bitfinex.
In crypto land, this kind of price movement, 5-8% on a given day, that's nothing. That's like the cloud passing over New York. It happens all the time.
No legacy business, no Chase Bank, no government. Nobody is going to build anything worth needing protection on or anything that needs a exceptional level of security. Anything that's involved with finance will not be built on Ethereum. It will not be built on XRP. It will not be built on any single chain architecture blockchain. It will not be built on any blockchain that is wrote in Solidity, and it will not be built on any blockchain that is wrote in Rust. They are just unsafe, they are unsecure, and I can prove it. Ready? Let's dive deep.
Earlier this month, we learned that Binance led a $150 million fundraising round to reimburse victims of the largest DeFi hack in history. Well, imagine learning the hacker is North Korea. That's what happened to our next guest, Tigran Gambarian, Vice President of Global Intelligence and Investigations at the world's largest crypto exchange, Binance.
Ask yourself the question, if you were a business, would you want to grow and build your business for 4 years just to have your business robbed for $625 million?
David, that's right. Last week's $320 million crypto heist from the Wormhole Network is being called the fourth biggest crypto hack of all times. And that's reminding investors of the dangers of some of these cutting edge services. Now, Mandiant's Rob Wallace told me the sheer size of the theft that's possible in the crypto space dwarfs anything that we've seen in traditional finance.
I've investigated some of the largest bank heists in history. And the largest bank heist we've ever seen was 80 million. Perpetrated by a nation state. And here we have a $320 million heist, and it's only the fourth or fifth largest crypto heist ever.
And then let's dive down the rabbit hole and why I say people like Kevin O'Leary and Raoul Pal, these legacy Wall Street investors that truly have no understanding or comprehension on what cryptocurrency actually is.
Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary owns a lot of Ethereum and he's bullish on it, but he says it'll be second only to Bitcoin, but hey, that's fine. And James Wang, ARK Invest analyst, former ARK Invest analyst, says this thing could run up to $40,000. What we're talking about here when you dive into it is hundreds of thousands of dollars in Ethereum. Like, this isn't something he just put $10 into. This is a lot of money into Ethereum because he knows that this platform is powerful, okay? He knows that this is real.
It's really interesting because it's always going to be number two. It's going to be best of the Beatles, the drummer that never made it into the band for the big albums. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily. What it means is it's going to be used as a form of tracking and payment system. Right now, it's too expensive for that. But there's also a big debate going on with this particular asset class as it moves away from mining into proof of stake, which will be far more ethical, far more green in terms of how much energy it takes to create it. Now, will it ever take Bitcoin? No. Bitcoin will always be the gold. Ethereum will always be the silver.
What these blockchain coding languages are wrote in a coding language called Solidity or Rust, which is a Turing-complete coding language, meaning that when you write and execute a smart contract, you write the entire smart contract, you execute it. Now, again, I'm no science rocketist, so all I understand is enough that there are so many more superior smart contract, safer, secure, more decentralized, scalable, And there is a reason why. The Cadena team had spent 2 years trying to build a decentralized bridge from Ethereum to Cadena, and they chose to go with a centralized third party because there is no way to feasibly in a safe and secure decentralized way, build a bridge to Ethereum.
Kelly, it's just an astonishing turn of events. The hacker who stole more than $600 million in cryptocurrency from Poly Network earlier this week has begun returning hundreds of millions of dollars worth of the assets and may be allowed to keep about $500,000 worth of the loot. Now, Poly Network is a decentralized finance platform allowing different blockchains to interact without the aid of a cryptocurrency exchange. The hacker says he or she found a vulnerability in that system and stole the money, quote, for fun, unquote. But now Poly Network is referring to the hacker as Mr. White Hat, implying that he or she is a good guy, not a crook, and offering a deal. In a statement, Poly Network said, after communicating with Mr. White Hat, we have also come to a more complete understanding regarding how the situation unfolded, as well as the Mr. White Hat's original intention. We had earlier offered a US $500,000 bug bounty, and Mr. White Hat had responded to the offer. So guys, as of right now, these bug bounties are what companies pay hackers to test their systems and find flaws that could be dangerous. They usually pay them to prevent money from being stolen, not after the money is gone.
So I am joined here by Mike Sasanskin from Synac. You're going to show us how easy it is to hack into a computer. So this is my personal computer.
So in this attack, we will pretend to be a wireless access point that you normally connect to, let's say, in a hotel. So if you go in there and you try to log into something called Four Seasons Guest.
Okay.
As you'd expect, it's, the Wi-Fi is around, you'd want to be able to connect to it, and a person who just arrived will think, I'm a guest, I should connect to the guest network.
Sure.
So now if you go to a website that you would normally use, like Yelp.com.
Okay.
And normally what happens when you go to a website just after you've logged into a hotel network, it says, oh, please log in, you're a new user. So here it's asking for your room number and last name, which it would normally do. Right? And actually I can see your information show up here. And so part of the attack is that it tries to convince you that you need to do an update. Your machine is out of date, it's vulnerable. So you want to click on the download button because it's sort of convincing you to do this. And once you've executed, that's it, you already have been exploited. I can see it here. It says Aditya's MacBook. Let's say if I want to take a screenshot of your of your webcam, right? Okay. So I have a special command here for essentially accessing your camera right here. If I say execute, there we go.
I just saw a green light pop up there for a second.
But now it's already too late. Now I already know what's going on around you.
Anything that is EVM compatible, anything that is wrote in Solidity.
So do you think something like proof of stake that's more about reputation than an actual exertion, like energy, can work?
No, I think proof of stake is inherently centralizing. It's like the old Matthew principle: from those who have to those who have, more will be given. From those who have not, everything will be taken. That's what proof of stake is. You need proof of work to embody skin in the game in the marketplace, such that contributions are commensurate with consideration received. That's how systems work.
My first question is for you, Mr. Brooks. What are the implications for the Bitcoin network if fewer players control an increasing amount of the mining activity?
Well, thank you, Congresswoman, for that question. One of the distinctions between the Bitcoin blockchain and proof of stake networks is it matters less in the proof of work context, the number of miners that exist, because it's not as though the miners can simply collude and choose to alter the Bitcoin blockchain the way that you could on a proof of stake blockchain. In a proof of work system, you're receiving Bitcoin rewards randomly, right? Because there's a lottery going on. And I think this is one of the most confusing and perhaps most misunderstood aspects of Bitcoin. What goes on is not that there is a correct answer about validating all of the transactions on the blockchain and some miner is figuring out the correct answer. What happens is there's a puzzle that has no correlation at all to the underlying transactions, and whoever gets the right answer first is part of a lottery ticket winner who gets that reward. That's how it's different. So I can't collude with Riot and Marathon and the other biggest miners and decide to alter the blockchain. I could do that, however, on a proof of stake network.
Investors aren't the only ones cashing in on the crypto surge. Hackers are draining many accounts on Coinbase. That's the biggest crypto platform in the U.S. Now, users are taking aim at the company's customer service department. They say Coinbase is leaving them hanging, and hackers walk away with hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Cybersecurity experts sounding the alarm following the devastating hack of several government agencies last year. Top executives from multiple cybersecurity firms telling the Senate Intel Committee that similar cyber attacks are likely occurring in the U.S. right now. Lucas Tomlinson is live at the Pentagon with more. So, Lucas, how many companies were actually affected by this hack?
Dana, the experts said over 17,000 companies have been affected, making this the largest cyber attack in U.S. history.
Because of Solidity smart contract language and how Solidity smart contracts are wrote, it's just a nightmare, guys. So hopefully you guys are really starting to wake up. You're starting to realize that I can't, as a smart investor, have faith that I can put my money into a game like Axie, the #1 largest market cap out of any gaming project in the history of crypto, Axie Infinity. They did $4 billion in NFT sales last year. They had the team, they had the people, they had the knowledge and experience to make sure that a security breach like that did not happen, and they couldn't do it. So if a company with a market cap of $10 billion can't secure their protocol, how do you feel about having your money in Crabdata or AVAX or any one of these other blockchains, guys? They are not safe. Their gas fees are expensive. They are not secure. They can't bridge anywhere. People talk about interoperability. Who's going to want to put their money on any one of these bridges? Wormhole hack, Solana hack, Polygon hack, millions, billions, hundreds of millions, and the list goes on and on. This is why we are going into a crypto winter. And when we come out of it, I'm calling this the great flush. Bitcoin is going to regain its dominance, and there are going to be a few projects that really come out on top. And XRP, anything in Solidity, anything that's EVM compatible, projects wrote in Rust, they just won't be, because they are a hacker's wet dream. And it almost seems like if I was somebody from North Korea, I would create an anonymous gaming project like Axie. I would deploy it on Ethereum. I would promote it and grow it to the moon, and then I would figure out a way to hack it. And then now you're building these projects, quite possibly terrorists are building these projects, these blockchain projects that are unregulated, that are not safe, not secure, and they're able to funnel $625 million. Axie Infinity just donated $625 million of your hard-earned money to fund North Korea's, who knows what they're doing over there. Love you guys.